Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're again playing one of my favorite characters with the new stuff, the Diver. Diver is an awesome character that I really enjoy, that I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble with, because this character looks really complicated and seems really difficult at first glance, but I think it's actually more straightforward than it seems. Although there's a lot of text here, here's how the character works. Enemies have extra health, they have 3.5 times as much health as normal, but they take extra damage when you hit them with ranged damage, such as from the harpoon gun that we start with. They also, the Diver gets extra crit damage multipliers, so when you critically hit with one of our weapons, which all the weapons we're going to use are precise, we do twice as much damage as we normally would with that crit. What that means is that enemies actually take more damage relative to their health pools than our normal characters. So, since we're doing more damage than normal, we're going to use a weapon that benefits from that, the Thief Dagger. Thief Dagger, of course, has tons of advantages, but normally does pretty low damage, so having the Diver use it means that we get all this economy basically for free, while our Thief Dagger can do great damage regardless. Just going to try to maximize our income in the early wave here, and you can see we got 61, which is way higher than you would normally get. Here, I'm going to reroll. Attack speed is a little tempting, but I really want to find melee damage or crit chance. On the Diver, your economy is going to come entirely from the fact that we're using Thief Daggers in general, which obviously give us extra money, and the fact that the Diver gets extra regen by buying melee damage, a stat that we already want to buy. So when we buy melee damage, we get regen for free, saves us a lot of money as well. For that reason, we're not going to look for harvesting in the early waves. I will ban the Sharp Bullet. I'll lock the Beanie. I think that's good enough to lock. I'll leave Alien Tongue in the pool, but not lock it. Same with Baby Gecko, and then we'll do some re-rolling. Claw Tree we're going to lock. Melee damage and crit chance are incredible for this character. Alright, we have to roll into a Thief Dagger eventually. We got really unlucky in that shop rolling for daggers, but at least we finally found 2. Not the best start, though, to be honest. Trees on this character are a little funny. They don't get the debuff from the harpoon, so you need to crit them in order to kill them. They do get the extra HP multiplier, but you can still kill them pretty quickly because the extra crit damage kills them fast. I'm banning Gummy Berserker. Never want to reduce our armor on this character. And then let's reroll. We're again looking for crit chance or melee damage, and we'll take 3 crit chance here. We'll buy the Thief Dagger, we'll roll, buy another one. Okay, good. We did manage to find some Thief Daggers and at least get a level 2 dagger. Thief Dagger is very cheap, so you can usually level it a lot in the early shops. Unless you get really unlucky like we did there. You'll often see on the Diver, people give the advice to re-roll over and over again in the early shops until you find a shotgun or a submachine gun, and if you don't find one, then just restart the run. I tend to think that this advice is pretty misleading, both because any strategy that requires you to restart over and over again is kind of a waste of your time. It's just not necessary. But also because it requires you to spend a bunch of money on an item that doesn't actually make your character much stronger than one that you just started with, the harpoon. So I think that you should just use the starting harpoon. It's going to be more efficient in order to increase your damage output than rolling for another weapon in order to apply the debuff. I'm going to ban the Feather here. It's just not a very efficient item for us, so we're just going to get rid of it, and then we'll roll and lock a Thief Dagger. Early on, we're just looking for melee damage, armor, and crit chance. Those are basically the only stats we care about on the Diver at all. We'll get regen for free from our melee damage, and as long as we can maintain, normal movement speed and everything, as long as we buy those stats, this character will very quickly just become invincible and be able to just charge into groups of enemies with complete impunity and kill them. Get that kill on the Curse Alien there. The second Curse Alien spawned over here, so I'm going to manually target it to make sure we get the debuff on it, and then we'll kill it as well. Here we will take 2 armor. because getting early armor is really important. We already picked up some melee damage, so I don't need to roll for melee damage in particular. Just making sure that we get enough armor, max HP, and melee damage is the critical point for this character. No pun intended. We'll take the boxing glove here and level our thief dagger by head injury. More percent damage is good. Eye patch, I'm going to just roll past. There's a chance we want to buy it because it is crit chance, but we don't want it now. I will take the thief dagger here. I'll lock the propeller hat. I'm going to ban terrified onion. It's pretty inefficient, and we've already got some positive movement speed, so we'll roll past that. Baby gecko, I will lock, I think. Range isn't terrible on Thief Dagger because it's a very low range weapon, and this character can struggle from leaving materials on the ground sometimes. So Baby Gecko I think we'll pick up. Because your movement is somewhat more constrained on this character because enemies have a little more health, so sometimes you can't always pick up the materials. Especially if you get extra range, which we're buying. I love the diver where you just pull in enemies and then kill them. It just feels so rude. Already making 180 materials, which is great. Even though we get regen for free from melee damage, I'm still going to buy 4 regen when it shows up like that, because it's still really nice to pick that up. And then we'll take 10 luck here. I do need to focus on buying max HP, armor, and melee damage soon, but we got those stats in very efficient ways, so definitely going to pick them up. We'll buy our Thief Dagger, and then Hedgehog is 2 melee damage at no cost. Well, the cost of the item, but 50 for 2 melee damage is still worth it, so we'll take it. We'll take the coupon here, of course, and then do a reroll. Lock the Claw Tree. Claw Tree's amazing, giving us both stats that we need. We'll ban out the glasses, and then roll again. Lock a Thief Dagger, and lock a Boxing Glove. The reason, by the way, that I think people really like the rerolling strategy, where you reroll until you find an item, is it feels really clever. Because it's not intuitive. It's not the basic strategy. And it's very well, documented that people always like to do things that are complicated, strategies that are more complicated or less intuitive, whether or not they're actually better, because it makes you feel smart. So it can be very useful when you come up with a strategy that you think is really clever and really fun, just to make sure that you do a sanity check and compare it backwards to just the most basic possible approach to something. Just to make sure that it is, in fact, actually better. I'll take 7 crit chance here, and then we'll buy Thief Dagger, Claw Tree, and Boxing Glove, and then roll. Turret we're going to ban. You never want to buy non-weapon sources of damage on this character, but we will take Weird Food and Goat Skull. Even at the cost of crit chance, melee damage is just so powerful. Penguin is worth buying. You can definitely buy regeneration on this character, because regen scales really well with itself. So buying regen can still be pretty useful. Do I want the Peaceful Bee? It costs me a melee damage, so I think not, so we're just going to ban it. Crystal, I will take. Attack speed is really good. And Bone Dice, I will pass on, but leave in the pool for now. And then I'm going to level my Dagger and lock a Corrupted Shard. A good example of that is I used to work in tech for many, many years, and something that you're always fighting against in the tech world is people desperately wanting to come up with complex automation systems for a task that you only ever need to do once, and that's very simple to do by hand. And you need to always compare, is it faster to come up with a way to automate this task than it would be to literally just sit down and do it? Because it makes you feel smart and techie and like you're doing something really clever when you automate it, but often it's better to just do it. And so when you're coming up with strategies in a game, it can be really important to to focus on making sure that you haven't basically done that and come up with a strategy that's more complicated and thus feels smarter, but is actually slower and worse. Here I will take that's like a stronger indictment of the re-rolling for shotgun strategy than is really necessary, because you can still make that strategy work, of course, but it's an important principle because that's such a well-known psychological factor when you're coming up with strategies. So we have managed to buy a lot of knockback, which is kind of funny, because now I'm pulling in the enemies and then just shoving them away. But that's actually pretty good, because one downside of the harpoon, or one mild danger of the harpoon, is that it does pull enemies towards you, which can be dangerous if you then don't have the damage to kill them. But with the knockback, we can always keep the enemies that we just pulled in at range. The main challenge for this character is always going to be getting to elite waves. I'll just ban out White Flag here. And then I'm definitely taking 9 max HP. Our max HP is pretty terrible. Oh, nice. A Cursed Bone Dice. We're very happy with that. We'll also upgrade our Harpoon Gun, and then we'll buy these 2 items. We'll roll again. I'll take a Small Fish for extra damage. Campfire I'm going to pass on, even though buying regen is good. We would rather just buy melee damage to get that. And then I'm pretty happy with all of these. Which one do I want first? Probably the Saltwater, because it gives us more melee damage. And then, nice, we can buy a bag as well. Metal, even at the cost of extra crit chance, because it costs us 5 crit chance, since we have increased crit damage increased crit chance modifiers on the Diver. Such an efficient item, and it gives us tons of stats that we really need right now, so we're very happy to pick up the metal. You can see here how much money we're making every wave, just because our Thief Daggers are just raking in the cash, while we're also just killing, you know, all the enemies. We're not suffering from clear speed issues or anything, and the Thief Daggers are giving us tons of extra money. Of course, recycle the Coral here. I'm going to take 15 attack speed, I think, over 12% damage. Trying not to take hits is really nice on this character, because we have double Crystal now. We'll take the Thief Dagger, we'll take the Metal and the Crystal, and then roll. Take another Hedgehog and a Charcoal. Every point of melee damage is incredible on this character. It gives us more damage with our weapons, and also gives us more regen. Do I want Pile of Books? It's a fairly expensive way to buy crit chance, but crit chance is really good, so I'll buy it. And then we'll take the Thief Dagger. Lock Sunglasses. I will need to fix my armor, but Sunglasses will be pretty nice, and then we'll lock the Charcoal as well for even more melee damage. So this wave, I'm going to try to find an HP upgrade in my level up screen. 31 HP is really low, so I would love to fix that. Wave 10 is usually the farming wave on Abyssal Terrors. There's just a lot of enemies, so we should make really good money this wave, unless I walk into every enemy and die, but I should be able to pick up some consumables and fix that pretty quickly. And although we don't have any harvesting, we make up the difference by the fact that we are using Thief Daggers, so our income is just enormous. We made 620 materials this wave. Here I will re-roll. I'm going to look for max HP, but We only found 3, so I'll just take 4 more melee damage. We'll buy these items. Do I want Toxic Sludge? It obviously doesn't do anything, but it's 45 for 1 curse. I think that's worth buying, because we also save on the reroll. Lost Duck is great, and Frozen Heart, I guess I'll take. We have... It's +1 damage on all our weapons, which is not amazing, but again, crit chance we will buy always, even at a premium on this character. And hey, we actually got really lucky, because I bought Frozen Heart, which makes all of our damage elemental damage, and now the Ice Cube is going to increase our damage output on every attack. And then we will lock these two. I'll do another reroll and go to wave 11. Alright, so again, just looking for max HP at this point, max HP and armor before we fight the Elite. Having high luck and a jerky, of course, gives us tons of healing, so we're in great shape there. And at this point, you can see we don't really need the debuff to kill enemies. We've got enough damage that every time we crit, we're just one-shotting everything, even with their extra HP multiplier. The debuff from the harpoon gun is mostly for the Elite that we're going to face next, because obviously we won't one-shot the Elite, but when we are doing 4 times as much damage as normal to it, we'll kill it extremely quickly, even with its extra HP multiplier. Yeah, we'll take more regen, we'll take more crit chance, those are all good. I'm going to buy these and then roll. I'm really hoping to find some max HP, but I'll take a Bean Teacher here. We'll buy a Thief Dagger and a Charcoal, and we'll roll again. So we're going to be playing on slightly lower max health than I want going into this Elite. 33 is definitely low, but we can just lock all these regen items. With 27 regen, even if we take a hit or 2, that shouldn't be that big a deal. I'm going to try to get the debuff on the Elite, and then we'll just see how quickly we can kill it. And we're going to focus on killing it really fast so that we don't have to dodge it that much. And then our max HP won't be an issue. And since we've boosted our damage enormously, we killed the Elite very, very quickly. Now, the cursed enemies are still doing a lot of damage because my armor and max health are a little low. So those we just have to fix. We're level 15 now, though, so as soon as I get my level 15 level up, we'll be in great shape for boosting my defensive stats a little more. And we've bought so much crit chance and melee damage and have so much regen as a result of that melee damage that we're killing everything super fast. We're regenerating really fast. All we need is just to be able to take a couple hits in case I walk into 2 enemies in a row, which currently would kill me. It's fairly hard to manage that, though, because our damage is so high. We do need max HP really badly, but the robot arm gives us tons of regen and damage, so we'll take that, of course. Here I'm going to reroll. I really want max health more than armor, but I'll take 3 armor, and then I'll roll, and we'll take 6 max health. I'm going to be losing max health every wave now, so I really do need to focus on boosting my max health. Take some percent damage. We'll take the Barnacle. That's going to be really good for extra stats. And then Defective Steroids, that's max HP. Going up to 43 helps a lot. I'll buy the Insanity over the Lumberjack shirt, because again, that's just economy. Now we have 100% critical hit chance with our level 4 daggers, so we're getting lots of damage there. I'll buy the Banner. Injection, I think I'm actually going to pass on because I found the robot arm. So my max HP is going to be at a premium. Normally I would buy that item, but because our max health is going to be a little bit lower and I'm going to struggle to improve it, we'll pass on the item that reduces our max health. Once we get to 50 or 60 health, we'll be in good shape, though. Nice to get a crate there. And we made 540 on wave 13, which again is really high. We'll take a treasure map. Yeah, 27 attack speed. Awesome. That's exactly the type of stat we need. We're very happy with Tentacle as well. That gives us extra healing, which is great. Lumberjack shirt and banner. Yeah, we've only got the one tentacle. Let's reroll here. Okay, so here's an item that is incredible for this specific character, the baby with a beard, because this does ranged damage. The way that the debuff gets spread by the diver is that any weapon or item that does ranged damage, that scales off of ranged damage, i.e. the little bow symbol, will pass out the debuff. So baby with a beard means every enemy we kill is going to pass out the debuff. That means we could sell our harpoon gun or keep it. We'll probably end up keeping it just to make it more reliable, but baby with a beard is an incredible item for us. If I buy the fairy, I still can't buy the thief dagger as well, so let's just buy baby with a beard and lock these two. I'll do a reroll and we'll lock a treasure map as well. The baby with a beard, unless you get two of them, it doesn't completely solve the issue of debuffing things. So I usually like to hang on to the harpoon gun anyways, but it does make it even easier to pass out the debuff, and then you're just doing even more damage. You can see, against debuffed enemies, we're doing 1,300 damage criticals. Also, because we have Lumberjack shirt, the baby with the beard will break trees for us, which is kind of fun. Here, yep, we'll keep taking more melee damage. That's just more regeneration and more max HP. Here I'm going to take max HP as well. That gets me to 58, which is all we really need. And then this is great. We can upgrade our dagger. We'll buy fairy. Now we're at 56 regeneration. We will go ahead and combine and buy another thief dagger. I do have consumable healing as a fair part of my healing setup, but I'm going to take the alien worm anyways. Boosting my max HP and regen is really nice. Do some more re-rolling, and we'll take a spicy sauce and a metal plate. I'm going to lock the mirror just for fun, I think. I don't think I'm going to mirror either of these. Actually, I might just mirror metal plate, because my armor is really low, and I need to fix that. Go over here and apply the debuff to the elite, and then just circle it until it are dead. And at this point, basically, the only stats that I care about at all at this point are just, like, armor and, I guess dodge would be kind of nice to have. But we could buy no items for the rest of the run and still win. I'm not going to do that because that would be pretty boring, but our character's already strong enough that we're at the point where we just don't need to improve ourselves anymore. We can rest on our laurels. Let's see what item we got. Fin, I'll take. Move speed is pretty nice. We are fairly low. We'll take the cute monkey here. And spider, we do get 12% attack speed on the spider, so I'll take that as well. Gentle alien, great. We've already got 105% crit chance, so I don't think I need the crit chance here. I'm actually going to take 60 range because it showed up in a reasonable value, and that way we can kill elites a little easier. We'll take the mirror and double metal plate. Now we have 9 armor. That's great. Baby elephant won't do any damage for us, but does give us a free reroll and a regen, but we don't really need either of those, so I'm just going to roll past it. Sunken Bell and Scared Sausage we don't need. We do have the Ice Cube, but we also have the Frozen Heart, so we've already got elemental damage on all our attacks. And Sunken Bell will just never do any damage, you can see here, because our range damage is at minus 97. I guess I'll lock the Hedgehog. More melee damage is just more damage output, and then we'll take the Beanie. Plant, Sure, we'll probably take that as well. Going up to even more healing just seems really nice. Drinking some water there. Of course, as it gets into fall and winter, everything dries out, and it becomes harder to talk for a long stretch without getting hoarse. This wave, of course, we should be able to get lots of extra curse by killing the curse aliens. And again, the harpoon is really nice for this because they spawn at the outer edges of the map. The harpoon just pulls them towards us so that we don't have to run after them as much, which is really great as well. Here, I'm just going to take 4 armor. Again, armor is the stat that we need the most. I could sell the harpoon gun, but I'm just going to keep it and then roll past that thief dagger. We'll roll again. We'll take a coupon and a cyclops worm and roll. Warrior helmet is great. We don't need pumpkin because our piercing damage is negligible. The harpoon gun itself doesn't do any actual damage. And sure, let's lock these 2 items as well. Warrior helmet again solving the only problem that this character still has, which problem is a pretty strong word for it, given how powerful we are. Easy 2,000 damage crits here. Any percent damage that we could get would be pretty powerful as well, because our percent damage is pretty low. I also wouldn't mind some dodge, because I do have these crystals, and the 5% attack speed from the crystal is totally fine, even if I take hits and lose the crystal damage, or crystal bonus, but boosting the bonus from the crystals by having dodge to make it so we take fewer hits would be nice as well. But again, we're just going to keep taking armor. Do I think I'm going to get a meaningful amount of dodge? Probably not. But maybe I'll buy the gambling token anyways, just in case. We'll take a Thief Dagger and a Spyglass. Claw Tree, still good. We'll lock a Thief Dagger. Insanity, I'm going to buy the Cursed Insanity, even though our Thief Daggers are all at max crit chance anyways, just for the curse. And that way I can reduce my curse and still have it be... Or I can reduce my crit chance and still have 100% crit chance. Oh, by the way, there was an elite this wave. I don't know if you noticed, but this was, in fact, an elite wave. No, my crystal bonus. All right, so 1949 on our critical hits with our level 4 Thief Daggers. If we get a cursed one, or if we get just some more percent damage, because our percent damage is still fairly low, or just some more melee damage as well, then we would just be flattening everything we attack. We'll easily break 2k damage criticals, but it would be fun to get even higher. Greek Fire, unfortunately, we're not burning anything, so we're just going to recycle that, and then I will buy these items. The book, it's worth buying this just, well, we get 1 regen, but also we get the free reroll, and that makes future rerolls cheaper, so it's worth buying it anyways. And here's a good example of why going a little over our max crit chance is good. We can buy the Goat Skull and still have 100%, though we're way over 100%. Wheat, I guess I'll buy it. For melee damage, we'll reroll, we'll buy the bait, and Cauldron will boost our damage output as well, so we'll lock that also. You can see just how fast we heal. We can, at this point, just charge through any group of enemies and we'll have fully healed by the time we come out the other side. The enemies can no longer deal any meaningful damage to us because we heal for so much. Our attacks will also heal us frequently because we have a tentacle and we're critting on every attack. So it's very easy to just charge around and make money this wave. Guess we'll go get this tree. And Kraken's Eye, sure. More max HP is pretty nice, so we'll take that. We'll take some extra curse. Here, I guess I'm just going to take 60 range here. I think that will actually make it easier to kill the bosses. I guess 5 melee damage is going to be the best we can do. We'll take a little muscly dude for more melee damage. We'll take a leather vest, just more armor. You know what? We're going into the boss wave, and so this is normally a very dangerous pickup, but we'll take the scarf just for fun. And baby squid we would have taken for even more regeneration. Peacock I'm not going to take. That is a way I could actually just throw this run. Blindfold would have been really nice, but I'm just going to reroll for fun here, and we'll see what else we could get. And then let's go fight the bosses. So we just debuff it, stand near it, and then kill it. Debuff it, stand near it, and then kill it. And there we go. Boss is gone, and that's the diver. So basically the goal for this character is you just get so many free stats from the money from your daggers and from how much regen you get by buying melee damage that you just wildly snowball ahead of the run. And the character just becomes incredibly strong. As long as you get some armor, max HP, and melee damage early, and just keep buying that throughout the run, this character will be very doable. Taking a look at our items, we saved 900 materials on our coupons. We've got, what else? 36 damage from the bone dice, and we only lost 3 HP for it. Cursed bone dice, of course, pretty nice. Bag, actually a little low on the bag, 195, but still obviously incredible. Only 3 items from our 2 treasure maps, so really running a little cold on crates there. Bag and treasure map giving us very low income. 80 HP recovered from Tentacle. We got 7 level ups with the Barnacle, so that was great. And what else? 77 materials saved with the Spyglass. Let's look at our weapons here. So we dealt 41k, yeah, somewhere between 40 and 60k with each of our Thief Daggers last wave. Even the Harpoon Gun dealt 4,000 damage, which is kind of fun because it has huge negative scaling. And then our Thief Daggers also gave us almost 1,000 materials, 800 materials, 700, 350, and 100. So huge amounts of extra income from those as well. All right, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed this run, and I hope that if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can always subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.